Hello and welcome to Linux most important command series, and since this is the first one in the series, I'm going to tell about the most basic one, that is SSH. So SSH is also known as secure shell or secure socket shell, and we use SSH protocol to connect to the Linux server, and this creates an encrypted connection. So this is also the secure connection when we try to connect to the Linux server. SSH command gives many options, and if you want to check all the options, you can use man, which is the manual option within the Linux to see. But here I'm going to discuss a few important one, and I will also demonstrate each of these options one by one during the practical example. And I have also written here, like simply if we are doing SSH or SSH-B and -I parameters. So I'm going to explain all these options. So let's get started practically. So on Mac operating system, now I will launch terminal, and this terminal is a command line, and this through this command line now we will make attempt to connect to different Linux servers which I have created here for demonstration. And you can see here, so this is the SSH command, and if we do not give anything, then it specify itself many options. And as I told you before, that man, which is the manual command, so we can look for various options which are available within SSH. And there are so many options, you can go through all these options, but couple of options are most important one that we need and use very frequently. I'm going to demonstrate in this video tutorial. Before I make an attempt to log in, I just want to verify on my Ubuntu server that what is the IP. So I'm just going to log in here, and then we will just check the IP address. So here you can see that the IP address for this VM is 10.211.55.5. So we are going to connect to this particular IP address. Now I will try to make a connection using SSH command, and you see here I just made an attempt, and it is showing here Pankaj Kumar as a user. So always remember, when from any terminal or shell client you are trying to make connection, do not mention anything here, then that it will always take the default user which is here. But like this user do not exist on the server side, so if even I make attempt here, it will deny access because obviously this user do not exist there. So I will terminate it. Now another attempt I will make, but this time I will use my username which exists on the server, and now we will provide the password, and you see here now we are successfully logged in. So this is one type of connection option that we can use, like SSH, then username which is available on your server, or if you have LDAP or Active Directory integration, then that user, that domain user, then to the server name. So this is how we can make the attempt. So this is the first example. Now in second example, what we will do, we will try to bind a port. So like as I mentioned in the previous PPT, like -B option, then I will come to -I option also. So -B means we want to bind. So I will go back to my terminal again. What is this binding means? So now I will exit from the server, and I will clear the screen. And if I show you here if config, and I will do grep, for all these commands I have created separate sessions, and you can look for those sessions for detail. But here I'm showing you, like my laptop has so many addresses, IP version 6 and IP version 4. So if we wish to bind to particular address, then how do we do this? So for this we can do SSH-B parameter, that is for local binding. And now let's say we want to bind this, because this network is the common network that belongs to my server as well. So, and the IP for that is 5. And now we try to make an attempt. So now again we just provide the password, So now as I'm typing in here credentials, it's not letting me in, and the reason I'm sure you know that it's by default picking up my current sessions username from my Mac terminal, but in actual we need to type in here username that exists on the server, which is Pankaj here. So now I will make an attempt, and you see now I'm successfully logged in. So here what I did, I applied -b option, and you see here there are so many IP addresses assigned on my Mac, and I just provided binding for one specific IP to connect to the server. So this is the option we used here. Now another option is -I, that means identity. So we can create some specified secure keys, and we can log in using those keys to the server. That is another secure way. And if you enroll for my Udemy course, then you can find all security modules covered there on the topic. So do log in there to have a look out. For now we will make an attempt. Now I just want to show you using I parameter. So just give me a moment and then I'll show you. So now I will try to connect to a remote server using identity key, and here I will just make an attempt. So this is a temporary IP address that I will connect to, and here is my identity key. Now I have to pass the passphrase, else I will not be able to log in. And you see here now I am successfully logged in using this identity key, which is stored here. And I really request you guys, if you really want to get into more about Linux security or various security options to Linux operating systems, do log into my Udemy course. So this was the another option. Now I will show you same way we are making connection from this terminal. There are other tools also, as I explained in my previous slide. So like if I go little back again, so there is one PuTTY client or PowerShell. So how we can use this? So now I will switch to my Windows terminal so that I can show you a bit of glimpse here. So this is my Windows VM running here, and here now what we will do, we will try to connect to the same server, but now using GUI. So I will use PuTTY. You can download and install PuTTY on your Windows machine. You can search it, or you can just simply access it if it's already accessed. So here, this is the PuTTY software that I have installed, and now we need to type in the IP address. So for example 10.211.55.5, and we make an attempt. And again simply we have to mention the username here and then the password, and there we go, we are logged in. So this is one GUI client, that is the SSH client. Another option in Windows is PowerShell. You can also achieve same thing using PowerShell. Like let's get into PowerShell, and we'll make a same connection. Now let it come first. Here it is, and now we will try to connect to the same IP address. So SSH. So SSH client is also installed with PowerShell. So you can use, even if you do not have PuTTY, you can simply use PowerShell the way we use terminal on Mac operating system or Linux operating systems. I'm typing in the password again, the IP again, and now you notice here by default it always take your user session user here, which is not correct actually, because in this case we do not have this user available on the server. So that means again what we have to do is I terminate it with Control-C. We have to make sure that we are referring to the user with which we have to connect to, and there we go, we are connected here. And if you notice here, it is showing here open SSH client. So this is actually open SSH client to connect to the server, as I explained earlier. So that was just an example to connect on the window. We have the multiple options here, but we are using Putty tool and also PowerShell. You can also even use WinSCP. You see here this graphical secure copy software that can be used on Windows to do the file transfer across the server, or even you can connect here. Let's say if I want to connect, I can simply say new site, then I have to select here option. Let's say I want to do WinSCP, and then I can connect. But this is not the topic of this video, so you will watch this in my later sections when I cover SCP in detail. So for now, let's focus on SSH. So that is how we can connect. Now another option that we have with the SSH is to specify a port. For example, here by default SSH has port 22, but for security reasons we recommend that we should not use default port, so we change the port. So let's say in this instance I have changed port of one of my server to 52000. Now how do we connect? So for that the option is -p. So -p option can be used. So what we will do now, we will go back here and I go back to terminal on my Mac operating system, and I will just adjust it a little bit, and then I will use this command. And now you can see here it is making an attempt to connect to another server which is with the IP address last octet 4 but on port 52000. And now I just have to give my password. And we are logged in. So you see this is my Fedora system, and now I'm logged into there, but with port this. And if we now see here the list of open port, you see here that it is listening on 52,000 port, but program it is not showing because I'm logged in with the restricted user, so it will not show you what program it is using. But this is SSH program that is in use. So these were the options that we can use with SSH. I hope you learned something here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write back to me, and all the description is given in the description box. And see you in my next video with the next command explained in detail with various options. Thank you. Hello friends, thank you very much for your encouragement and subscribing to my channel. And I just request you that whenever you are watching my videos, and just to keeping me encouraged, whenever you are here on my channel, please do like it, do share it. Like you can share it on WhatsApp or with your friends. Do subscribe it and press the bell icon all, so that whenever I'm posting new videos you will get notified. Thank you very much.